Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, may peace be upon us. Your Majesty, Sultan Haji Hasan Al-Bolkiah, Sultan of Brunei Darussalam, Your Excellency Salana Gusman, Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to welcome all of you to Indonesia and to the 6th Bali Democracy Forum. Your presence here is a reflection of our shared commitment to promote the values and principles of democracy in the region and beyond. Through your constant support and encouragement, the Bali Democracy Forum has grown to become a much valued part of the region's democratic architecture, a platform for Asia-Pacific countries to share views, experiences, and best practices on democracy. In particular, our discussion has recognized the linkages between the promotions of democracy and development, as well as between democracy and peace and stability. The Asia-Pacific region, including Southeast Asia, does indeed provide evidence of such linkages. Just over a decade ago, ASEAN began its journey toward a community. We envisioned not only a community in economic and social cultural sense, but also a political security community. We aspire for a community that includes the promotions of democracy, human rights, and good governance as one of its common objectives and goals. Of course, this has been and will continue to be a gradual process. However, there could be no doubt about the progress we have made thus far. The democratic architecture in our region has evolved, transformed even in the most fundamental manner. And the process has taken place without violent upheavals, along with their attendant security and economic impacts. Rather, on the whole, the transformation has evolved peacefully. Meanwhile, the same cannot be said of the progress of democracy in other parts of the world. In some places, failure to address demand for democracy often escalate to region-wide and even global security and geopolitical tensions. Indeed, these challenges provide a reminder of what is at stake. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this year, the theme of the Bali Democracy Forum is consolidating democracy in a pluralistic society. This has certainly been a constant challenge for Indonesia. As a nation rich in diversity, Indonesia is a reflection of the pluralisms that marks the Asia-Pacific region. Over the centuries, various civilizations, races, faiths, and cultures found a home in our archipelago. Today, we are a nation of a quarter of a billion people, comprising more than 300 ethnic groups, speaking some 700 languages, professing various faiths, and spread out in no less than 17,000 islands. Thus, for generations, we have lived by the motto, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, unity in diversity. We have worked hard to build an inclusive and democratic nation-state in a pluralistic society. However, we are deeply conscious of the continuing challenges in consolidating democracy in such a society. How we can strike the right balance between democracy and freedoms on the one hand, and the rule of law on the other hand. In this regard, I would like to share with you some views based on Indonesia's experiences in consolidating democracy. First, the constitutional right for all citizens must be guaranteed. These rights include freedom of religions, freedom of expressions, equality before the law, non-discriminations, protections of minorities, and due process of law. We give meaning to these rights, which form the foundations of our laws and regulations. We continue to strengthen our institutional and legislative framework. We also continue to promote a culture of respect for human rights, freedoms of the press, and participations of civil society. Second, the supremacy of the rule of law must always be upheld. The basic and fundamental rights of the people, as enshrined in the constitutions and other relevant laws and regulations, must be respected. This entails the protections of the basic rights of minorities. It is therefore essential that we uphold both the will of the majority and the rights of minorities as prescribed in our constitution. We continue to ensure that respect and equality before the law becomes an integral part of our way of life. Third, the people's participation must be promoted in decision-making process that affect their lives. We should create an environment in which the people share a sense of ownership of the policy outcomes. In a country of vast diversity and great territorial expanse such as Indonesia, this requires decentralization of the systems of governance. Therefore, one of the first reforms in our democratic transition was the decentralization of our systems of government. Such an approach has been critical. For instance, in ending the 3-decade-long separatist rebellions in the province of Aceh. It has also been central in our effort to promote prosperity and welfare in the province of Papua and West Papua. And fourth, continuous intercommunal interactions must be promoted to enhance mutual understanding, tolerance, and social cohesion. We should encourage dialogue among communal groups of different faith, ethnicity, and socio-economic standing. As a result, we promote amicable and peaceful resolutions of differences or disputes among them. In addition to these 4 lessons, Indonesia's multi-party systems provide both a challenge and opportunity in our effort to consolidate democracy. It is inherent that a pluralistic society will feature interests that are various and at times contentious. However, such diversity should not discourage dialogue and constructive debate. Indeed, we often hear complaints, even among Indonesians, that our political processes are lengthy and complex. But I believe that we have benefited a lot from the dialogues and debates among our many political parties. We continue to learn to rise above the politics of a multi-party democracy in determining and sharpening our national interests. Needless to say, a multi-party system has allowed us to channel our diverse ideas and interests into positive political participations. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are living at a time when we can witness wide spectrums of political and democratic practices. In reality, such practices are intertwined with their social, and even security conditions. Even though democracy is built upon noble values to build a more civilized society, we, however, do observe the use of violence in the promotions of those objectives. Before this August forum, let me reiterate the importance of pursuing a democracy that is based on civility, avoidance of anarchy, and the applications of peaceful means. Therefore, let us continue to bring the noble values of democracy into our lives for the sake of our people and our future generations. Let us continue to promote the principles of inclusivity and the people's participation, which are at the heart of democracy. And let us sustain democracy by promoting tolerance and mutual respect, as well as fostering goodwill. Finally, Your Majesty, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I declare the 6th Bali Democracy Forum officially open. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi, 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 Om. Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, let me continue this opening session by firstly extending once again my deepest appreciation to His Majesty Sultan Hasan Al Bolkiah and His Excellency Prime Minister Sanana Gusmao for their continued support to this forum. I am confident that their continued support and commitment to this forum will strengthen the discourse and ownership of the values and principles of democracy in the Asia-Pacific and beyond. I now have the honor to invite my esteemed colleague, His Majesty Sultan Hasan Al Bolkiah, to deliver his remarks. Your Majesty, the floor is yours.